Morning, guys. Just wanted to share something that's come up in the last couple weeks between me and a group of friends that I'm hanging out with and chatting with. Don't mind the sweatiness. Just finished the workout this morning. So the concept was just around journaling. Journaling is a spiritual discipline, right? And sometimes we think that spiritual disciplines need to be tied into big emotional feelings and powerful moments, and I would argue that it's actually the opposite, that most spiritual disciplines are not going to have these big powerful moments on a consistent basis, right? The reason that we do them is no different than me waking up in the morning and getting a tea for Charisse, right? Like, it's not going to be a big, powerful, moment or thing in our marriage, but it's a way of me communicating to her that I care for and I love her and I'm thinking about her. And journaling is one way for us to, not only communicate that to God, but a way for us to engage with God. So a couple of the things that will actually help with journaling, or that you'll get from journaling, is, I would say the biggest thing is you'll find what you're looking for, right? So when we journal, we're writing about things that have happened, and we are reminding our mind, we're telling our mind to find the good things that have happened. Now, it's okay to journal about things that were tough. If anything, I would actually encourage you to do that, especially at night if your mind is ripping with things from the day or the week or whatever. Getting it out onto paper can be a really good practice to get it out of your system. Sounds kind of silly, and it's like, well, no, that's not going to work. It actually does. There's lots of psychiatrists that would tell you to do that. Write out your thoughts, and then if you can get them on paper, there can be a disconnect there. But specifically, what I'm talking about right now is journaling around what God is doing, right? Because if you're seeing and writing about what God is doing, then your brain is going to pick up on that being something to continually look for, and you'll see it more often. You will, right? Like, there's a reason that Scripture tells us to, be transformed by the renewing of our mind every day. That's in the New Testament, right? Joshua, God told him to, meditate on my words day and night, right? All the time. So obviously we can't journal all the time, but the idea is that the more that we keep in front of us what it is that God's doing, the more our body's going to get in tune, particularly our mind, with finding the good things that are around. Now, again, it's not a washover of the pain and the hard stuff that comes from life. It's okay and good to write about that stuff too. But oftentimes our culture is designed for us to just sit in our worry and our fear and our pain. And I don't want anyone to feel guilty about that, but it's a really good practice, and it's just one, right? It does take discipline, though. It takes time. You gotta, like anything, you gotta separate out this time for you and you and God, right? And some people would say something along the lines of like, "Oh, I don't like journaling." Well, guys, you don't have to write a book, right? Like, you can even keep it in point form, right? Where you're just literally writing out these things that God has done, and then just leave it at that. There's a whole whack of different ways to journal. But I know for me, it certainly has been a really powerful spiritual discipline. And last note on all this is, it's okay if you don't do it, right? I don't want you to feel guilty about that either. Sometimes we're like, well, I can't do it, so it just must suck. No, it's one of those things that you have to learn how to do, and sometimes it can take a few tries before, we create some momentum with it. So, give yourself a break as you try and get closer to God and learn how to do it. And certainly God has never once any guilt or shame attached to anyone's pursuit of Him, right? So push that right out the door every single time it comes. And lastly, if you need any help with this stuff, just ask, right? Luckily enough, I've spent the last 10 years of my life helping people, retrain their brains around doing things that they find hard to do. So got lots of tips and things to help, but I know for sure that journaling is a massive one, specifically around keeping our eyes open. keeping our hearts searching for these things that are in our lives, right? But I mean, if we're closed off to it, it'll be harder to see. So yeah, hope that helps, and have a great day.